Welcome to Warhammer Warscroll Review. In this video, we're taking a look at the Seraphon Warscroll, Salamanders.
Warscroll Review.
Salamanders are one of two artillery units available to the Seraphon army. To start, they have an 8-inch movement, which is great and keeps up with the skinks in the army. These lizards have 3 wounds and a 5-up save, which is slightly more defensive than you'd expect for their price point. The beasts have a powerful ranged weapon called the Stream of Fire. It's an 8-inch weapon with 1 shot. It hits and wounds on 3s, has a rend of -2, and does d6 damage. 1 shot isn't great, but the results if this thing hits can be extremely destructive. The model has 2 special rules that enhance their fire ability. Goaded to Fury increases the range of the fire to 12 inches if they are within 3 inches of a skink handler unit. This 4-inch increase may not seem like a lot, but it is. Always take skink handlers if you're taking salamanders. It Burns is the Warscroll's second special ability. Roll a die for each unit that had wounds dealt to it through Stream of Fire. On a 4-up, the unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. This is a great ability and means a single salamander can be doing up to 9 damage in a single shooting phase with some hot rolling. If possible, try to mark as many targets as you can with the Stream of Fire ability. Not only does this thing have a great range weapon, its melee weapon is not bad. Though combat is not where the salamander belongs, if the opponent does charge, it may surprise them to find out each salamander has 3 rend 1 attacks. Salamanders are 40 points each and go in units of up to 4. As previously mentioned, they also fill an artillery slot for each unit of them. Depending on buffs and army composition, how many salamanders you take may vary. They're quite cheap, so a Seraphon army or even Order player may throw a couple in with their extra points. A unit of 4 will have a big target on its back, and will go down to enemy shooting quite easily unless properly protected. On the other hand, a unit of 4 can be extremely potent. Taking a few smaller packs of 2 is also a good strategy and makes them a nuisance to deal with. Obviously, salamanders are a short-range shooting unit that can deal quite a bit of damage and has mortal wound output. Target high-value, well-armored enemy units when possible. Keep them behind chaff units and use their skink handlers to screen them when no better options present themselves. Salamanders aren't really the type of unit you throw 1 or 2 of in a list and expect them to be very effective. While this idea is cheap, without any buffs, those 1 or 2 shots are going to be missing their mark quite a bit. There are a few ways to enhance the Salamanders' abilities. A Seraphon army, unsurprisingly, is probably their best place. The Seraphon battle trait can be quite useful with salamanders. Normally using Lords of Space and Time will set the model 9 inches away, which is too far to shoot the Salamander's Stream of Fire. There are some ways to get around that. The Slang command trait, Great Rememberer, would allow him to teleport 2 units in a turn with the battle trait. This could transport both a Salamander unit and a Skink Handler unit. This ability will have to be correctly timed though, as sending the Salamanders up too early could result in them shooting once and then dying. The Seraphon player should either ensure the target will be destroyed, leaving no other nearby threats, or have other units to support the Salamanders once they teleport. Aside from Allegiance abilities, there are numerous Seraphon units that have special abilities that synergize effectively with Salamanders. Another use with Lords of Space and Time is teleporting 1 unit of Salamanders up and having a Skink Handler unit run to meet them. Aside from Allegiance abilities, there are numerous Seraphon units that have special abilities that synergize effectively with the Salamanders. The Slan Starmaster has already been mentioned, so I should add that one of the Slan's Ascendant Constellations allows the army to reroll 1s to hit, and the Starmaster's command ability would allow them to reroll saves in the shooting phase as well as fly. An 8-inch flying movement could really get the Salamanders into some great positions. The usual Skink Priest and Star Priest can obviously increase durability with Celestial Rites, Mystic Shield, and Summon Starlight. But the way you really want to augment the Salamanders is offensively. The Skink Star Seer's rerolls can be effective in rerolling those low damage rolls on the Stream of Fire. It is also very nice on the It Burns rolls, both to trigger the rule and the mortal wounds after. In addition, the Skink spell Curse of Fates could be used to increase or decrease one of their rolls by 1 each phase. This too could be used effectively on the damage and It Burns rolls. The Saurus Astrolith Bearer is extremely effective with an army that includes salamanders. The banner can be planted in the hero phase and will allow nearby salamanders to reroll to hit rolls. This is really great and one of the best ways to augment them. 3s to hit is nice, but since they have only 1 attack each, they really suffer when they fail any rolls. Salamanders are included in a couple Warscroll battalions, but the one they really shine in most is the Heaven's Watch Star Host. The battalion includes 1 Skink Starseer, 2 Skink Star Priests or Priests, and 3 to 9 units taken from a list consisting of mostly Skink units, but more importantly, Salamanders. The Skink Starseer marks a target each turn, and the units in the battalion can reroll to hit and wound rolls of 1 against that target. This is extremely potent with Salamanders and one of the few ways to mitigate bad wound rolls. When facing Salamanders, try to stay out of range when possible and engage them quickly in combat if you can. Shooting them is also a great strategy to take the Salamanders down. Salamanders receive a 4 out of 5. They are cheap and pack a fairly big punch. What do you think of Salamanders? What Warscrolls would you like to see reviewed next? Leave your thoughts, answers, and questions in the comments below, and thanks for watching.